Hey, how's it going? Jared here from JK's Wine and Liquor. Here to introduce to you the first ever virtual tasting. It starts today, right now, November 16th to November 30th. It'll be a 2-week-long tasting event. You can come down, buy the 12 bottles, again $125. It's a 20% discount. And I'd like to thank all the distributors and the sales reps who participated in the tasting. So a special thanks to Liz, John, Brad, Kristen, and Carmela for taking the time to describe each wine. In the bags you'll find a tasting sheet. It'll have pairing notes and go over the wines a little more in depth. And stay tuned, watch the video, and enjoy.
I'm Jonathan, and last but certainly not least, we want to thank all our customers and staff for all their support throughout the years, and this year in particular. And we can't wait to see you all this holiday season. Cheers!
Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm John Boyle. I'm here at JK's Wine and Liquor today to talk about 2 wines that are going to be in their holiday offering. And hard to believe that Thanksgiving is literally right around the corner. Thanksgiving is traditionally the biggest wine consumption holiday. And so we're going to take you through a tasting of 2 wines that I believe will go great with your holiday fare. So we're featuring wines from Franco Amoroso. These wines come from northwest Italy in the Piemonte region, and they're both Barbaras. And when people ask me, tell me about Barbera, or what's something interesting or what's a taste profile, the first thing that I think of is Pinot Noir. And we know that Pinot Noir is probably the most classic red wine served at Thanksgiving. And this shares a lot of common traits of Pinot Noir. Lighter body, full of beautiful cherry flavors, soft tannins. But the one thing that sets it apart is a very lively acidity. And the acidity is going to help break down the flavors in the food. It's going to add to your enjoyment of your food and what you're pairing. So, 2 expressions of Barbera. The first one we're going to have is Barbera d'Asti. And just a moment on that name. So Barbera is the grape. And when you see something in this situation, Barbera d'Asti, it means Barbera from Asti. So it comes from that town, has its own unique character. And we'll give this a try. So in the glass, you can see right away lighter color, looks very similar to Pinot Noir. Beautiful cherry notes right on the nose. So again, going back to that similarity to Pinot Noir, just light, refreshing, very easy to drink, lighter body. Right away I'm getting that cherry. With this particular one, the Barbera d'Asti, I'm also getting a little blackberry, a little currant. But again, the standout is that acidity at the end, mouth-watering. So this is going to be great by itself, but it's really going to come alive with your food. So Barbera d'Asti. Now we're going to go to its counterpart. This is Barbera d'Alba. And again, same story, Barbera, but from the town of Alba. So it's like, pour this, same thing, that lighter color, lighter body. Immediately, the cherry notes again. But what sets this one apart is there's some spice in there, which means if you're having savory foods, that spice is really going to complement those dishes. And that really lively acidity. So between the 2, the Barbera d'Asti I would kind of consider elegant, maybe feminine style. Barbera d'Alba, a little bit fuller body, that extra spice note, kicks it up a little notch, a little more of a masculine style. Beautiful by itself or with food. This one's definitely going to make the food come alive. So I don't think you can go wrong with these wines. I think they're going to go great with your holiday fare. Enjoy and be safe.
Hi everyone, I'm Liz Farinella. I'm from Empire Merchants North, here to virtually taste you on two wonderful wines that are featured in JK's holiday program. The first wine that I'm going to talk about is Bartonora Moscato di Asti. Moscato is a grape that is one of the oldest grapes grown in the world. Greece, Austria, France all grow it, and each have a unique style to that region. The one that we're talking about today is from Piedmont, Italy. Moscato from this area tends to be frizzante, which means has some bubbles, and semi-sweet. Bartonora is the #1 leading Moscato served, imported throughout the world, and it is named after a 15th century rabbi, hence it is kosher. So good for all holiday parties and festivities. Let's give it a taste. Let's give it a try. So as you can tell, it does have the frizzante bubbles, but it's not a sparkling. So on the nose, you're going to smell wildflowers, ripe melon, and some honeysuckle. It's very light bodied, also semi-sweet, and you're going to get nectarine and apricot. It's going to go well with poultry, fish, and spicy foods, specifically Asian. The next one I have to present to you is Flores del Sol Malbec. This is from Mendoza, Argentina. Again, Malbec is planted all over the world, but it was not indigenous to Argentina. In 1868, a Frenchman brought over some vines and planted it because he saw the viticulture there, and now it's become Argentina's national varietal grape. Some of the most highly rated Malbecs come from Mendoza, which this one's from. And it's because it's the high altitude, most of these vineyards are planted on the foothills of the Andes Mountains. So you get a lot of sun during the day, hence Flores del Sol, colors of the sun. And at night it gets cool and it helps these grapes ripen. So, this does see about 9 months in French and American oak. So you're going to have that oakiness to it, but a beautiful color. And you'll smell ripe blackberry and spices. And the taste is raspberry, black cherry, very full body, very fruit forward, a crowd pleaser for sure. You're going to pair this with beef, poultry, lamb, and enjoy. I hope everybody has a happy and safe holiday season. Thank you.
Hi everybody, I'm Bradley from Empire. Thanks for joining us for this JK's Wine and Liquor virtual holiday tasting. Today I'm going to be talking to you about a couple of wines from Sterling Vineyards. Sterling is one of the Napa Valley's most iconic wineries. They're located up in the north, up near St. Helena, and it's actually the only winery in the world that's accessible by aerial tram. You can check that out at sterlingvineyards.com. They've got a great website, lots of photos of their really beautiful winery. The two wines that we're going to be talking about today are the Sterling Vintners Collection Pinot Grigio and the Sterling Vintners Collection Pinot Noir. So we'll start by talking about the Pinot Grigio here. This wine is sourced mostly from the Central Coast, and why that's important with the Pinot Grigio is what we get are really nice, long, warm, sunny days that are tempered by that cool ocean breeze. This wine is picked in the early AM hours to keep the grapes nice and cool. They go directly into stainless steel fermentation, and then we quickly go right through into bottling. We're going to go ahead and do a tasting on this guy. Don't forget to swirl your wine after you pour it into the glass. So the Vintners Collection Pinot Grigio, on the nose, I'm getting citrus, I'm getting floral notes, I'm getting melon. You see that nice pale straw yellow color in this, just like a Pinot Grigio should be. So let's go ahead and taste. Through the palate, you get really zesty acid with this wine, a little bit of orange peel, a little bit of pear. So when you're trying to pair this with food at home, it goes really great with spicy foods like Thai, things like creamy pasta dishes, or you can even pair it with some fresh fruits or fresh salad. So cheers to that on the Sterling Pinot Grigio. Next up, we've got the Pinot Noir. This wine is sourced mostly from Edna Valley and Monterey, so again in the coastal regions of California. And Pinot Noir is a really delicate, really sensitive grape, and so what we want in the growing season is we want that maritime influence. We want a lot of sun, we want a lot of warmth, but we also want those cool ocean breezes to come in and really temper the grapes as they're growing. So the Pinot Noir, on the nose, I'm getting notes of black cherry, I'm getting raspberry, I'm getting pomegranate, and a little bit of vanilla, and that's because this wine is aged in oak for about 5 months after fermentation. So the oak aging is going to give it that little bit of a vanilla note. So let's go ahead and taste. On the palate with this one, I'm getting black cherry, I'm getting raspberry, a little bit of pomegranate, and again a little bit of that vanilla from the oak influence. This wine pairs really well with grilled meats and cheeses, and also turkey. So thank you for listening to our Sterling Vineyards wine tasting. Hope you guys are having a great time at home enjoying this. Cheers.
Hi, I'm Kristen. I'm with Trident Imports, and I'm going to be showing you the Tussock Jumper wines today. I have a Cabernet and a Malbec, both from Argentina. We're going to start with the Cabernet. So our cab is 100% cab. It is aged, 30% of it is aged in oak for 3 months. So you get a nice little bit of oak to it. Some spicy notes right away. Some nice fruit forward, dark fruits though. A little bit of spice on the back end. Pairs really well with grilled vegetables, braised meat, pizza, Tex-Mex, anything like that. It's a go-to. It's not too jammy like some of your California Cabernets. Next to that, I have the Malbec. So Malbec is originally known from Argentina. It's a native grape, so you're going to get some of your best Malbecs out of Argentina. Really, really, really nice purple hue to it, you can see. So some fresh fruit aromas. You're gonna get some plum notes when you taste it. And you get really nice deep plum there. Your Malbec's gonna pair best with some meat dishes, cheese, you know, anything kind of grilled also, you're gonna get right there with that Malbec. You know, they both kind of go well with anything that has like some deep notes to it, but also on the lighter side, so you're not getting too much too heavy or too jammy. I also want to bring up with the Tussock Jumper wines that it is a brand known for getting wines around the world. We are in 14 different countries, so most of the grapes are native to the country from where they come from. We have an app for everything that, right here. Every wine will have a nice little live animal on it. So the Cabernet has a penguin. The penguin will come to life with your Bring Your Wine to Life application, and it'll tell you all about it. Anything you really need to know. He has a cute little accent, good stuff like that. But it's really handy and it's really accessible. So if you have any questions, it's kind of a go-to without using any kind of extra research. But I hope you really liked the wine today, and thank you so much for coming to our virtual wine tasting. Enjoy the Tussock Jumper wines. I think we carry about 10 different ones here at JK's, so try the whole variety and enjoy the holidays. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Carmelo from Trident Imports. Welcome to the first annual JK's wine tasting virtually. Today we are going to be tasting 2 Proseccos. One is a brut and one is an extra dry. I wanted to start off with teaching you the proper way of opening up a Prosecco. Obviously, take off the foil Once you get the foil off, there's a cage. There's a little thing in the back. You want to pull it out, unwind it. You want to keep your finger on top, so just in case it was shaken up, it won't pop out on you. Once you get that open, you want to leave the cage on top. You want to use the cage as the thing to grip it with, and it'll make it a lot easier to turn. Nice reaction. We are going to taste the Brut first, because the Brut is a little less sweet than the Extra Brut. The Proseccos come from a region called Ventinos, which is about 15 miles north of Venice, where everybody knows Venice is the second most popular city to go visit in Italy. All right, poured that one already. So you can see it's very pale in color. The grape in a Prosecco is called Glera. It is a very small green yellow grape. Has a nice kind of apple tartness to it, with a little bit of pear and a little bit of citrus. Taste-wise, you're going to get a little bit of that effervescence in it. Proseccos tend to have a little smaller bubbles than a champagne, so it's not going to be as strong on the bubbles. As far as what it goes best with, Bruts go best with any kind of appetizer that you have. Cheese plates, charcuterie boards, any kind of shellfish. Now, as far as Extra Brut's going to go a lot better with anything that has a little bit more spice or kick to it. Like some Thai food, any type of shellfish that has a little bit more spice, so that'll be a little bit spicier. They're both going to have the same characteristics, just the Extra Dry is going to have about 2 to 3 grams less residual, or more residual sugars than less, I'm sorry. So the same kind of bubbles, nice small bubbles to it. You're going to get a lot more with the sweeter. You're going to get a lot more fruit on the palate than you would with the dry, or with the Brut. So I just wanted to welcome you to the first annual tasting. Hopefully you have a great holiday season, and cheers.
Hey everybody, it's Bradley from Empire here for the JK's Holiday Virtual Wine Tasting. Hope you're all having a great time at home with this. Today we're going to be talking about the Beringer Brothers Tequila Barrel Aged Sauvignon Blanc and their Bourbon Barrel Aged Cabernet Sauvignon. So Beringer is a very historic winery in California, founded in 1870 by brothers Jacob and Frederick Beringer. They immigrated to the U.S. from Germany and moved to the Napa Valley and started a winery there that's been in operation since 1870, over 150 years. We're also very proud to say that our current winemaker at Beringer is Mark Beringer. So over 150 years later, we've still got a member of the Beringer family at the helm of the winery. So let's start with the Tequila Barrel Aged Sauvignon Blanc. This is a white wine that is sourced from their extensive vineyard properties all over California. And what we do with this is we do a stainless steel fermentation, and then 20% of the wine is aged for 60 days in ex-tequila barrels. Now I know this sounds kind of strange, but it is a new phenomenon in the wine world where we're using spirit barrels that we're then taking to age our wines in. And so after 150 years, you got to be willing to innovate. You got to be willing to explore a little bit. The Sauvignon Blanc here, on the nose, I'm getting notes of citrus, fresh herbs, a little bit of vanilla from that barrel aging. And so let's go ahead and taste. Really bright, really crisp. I'm getting a really nice, rich palate on this one, backed up by a nice, firm acidity through the finish. Let's go on to the Beringer Brothers Cabernet Sauvignon Bourbon Barrel Aged. So again, this wine is sourced from all over California. We do a stainless steel fermentation, and then again, 20% of the batch of the wine is aged for 60 days in bourbon barrels in this case. Let's go ahead and smell it. On the nose, I'm getting blackberry, a lot of dark fruit, a little bit of chocolate, a little bit of vanilla there also from the barrel aging. We'll go ahead and taste. On the palate and through the finish with this wine, I'm getting hazelnut, black cherry preserves, and that little bit of vanilla from the oak aging. Both of these wines are going to pair well with your Thanksgiving table. I hope you've enjoyed the tasting. Thanks for joining us today.